Good day everyone, this is me Ajita Jagannathan back on my channel Coding Made Easy Java 8 series. So today I'm going to talk to you on how we're going to store data types and how we're going to call methods in Java. So we have a lot of data, right, in Java or for any language and instance. For example, we'll have to store letters, we'll have to store words, we'll have to store sentences, numbers, boolean values and so on. So here I am going to show you a few data types in Java, and I've already created the class data types and methods. I also have the main function written here. So let's start. So first I'm going to teach you about the int data type. This is how we this is how the int data type is called in Java, int, and this is my variable name a. So I can initialize my variable here, or I can initialize it right here. So I choose to initialize it right here, and we'll always have a system dot out dot println so that we know what's being printed when we actually print the object of the data type. Yeah, so this is integer, which stores numbers. We can store any number that we want, and there are certain restrictions based on the values that are permitted. I will share links below on the video that you can check out for those kind of information. And then we have double. So this is double, that is used to store decimal points. We'll print it out as always. So yeah, and I forgot to tell you guys, so yesterday we saw how to print out a sentence, right? So every time we have to print out of the value of a variable along with the sentence, then we add this plus option. This plus is nothing but concatenation. So we're concatenating this along with the value of what is there in A and what is there in D. Boolean, that is used to store true or false, and we'll print that out. And now, so what we've seen so far is int, double, and boolean. And int is integers, double is decimals, boolean is true or false values. So now I'm going to look at something interesting. This is float, where I will say, yeah. So float is similar to what double is, but double is more precise in terms of decimal values. So double has a precision of more than 12 points, whereas float has only 6 to 7 decimal digits. So suppose if the declaration or any issue is there in our code, Eclipse already has this automated feature where we get this autocorrectors. It says cannot convert from double to float. So in double we had just declared the decimal right away, but in float we can't do that. We'll have to add an F here. Yeah, and we can print it out. So we have two more, that is char, that can be used to store characters, and characters are always within the single quotes. So I can store something like, say, star or a or anything for that matter. Let me just say 1, or to make it easier, a dot. Yeah, and then we have string. So string is something that's super special. So string is like, it's not a character, it's like an entire word or a sentence. So let me have the string name here as S. Within double quotes I write whatever I want. Say coding made easy series. Yeah. So now we can print it out here. And also string has a lot of methods that can be used on the string object, that is S, and I will be taking a separate video on that because Java strings are super interesting and it has like so many methods that we can use. Yeah, so shall we run the code? Here you go. So boolean be true. Here it starts with int a5. That's what we did. We get the same output, right? So yeah, including the dot. Don't miss that. So yeah, this is what is the data types in Java. So now we're going to talk about the methods. So methods or functions in any language helps in improving the readability of the code and also the reusability of code. For instance, let's say I have another integer b here, 7, and I have another integer e here, say 9, and sorry, there's an error here. That's because we already have boolean with b. So always remember that variables should have unique names in a given file, Java file. So let's say this is g. So we have int g and int e, and suppose I want to add a and g and print it out, and then I want to add a and e and then print it out. What would I do? I would probably say I can probably have another variable called int addition, and I could do addition equals a plus g and addition equals a plus e, and I can have a println statement here to say what the values are. Yeah, so I add the same println statement here as well. Yeah, so let's run it. Works fine. 12 and 14, that is AG and AE sum, 5 7 and 5 9. So well, this is actually okay when we want to add, but it's not very much okay. Ask me why. That's because we're repeating the same operations that can be actually, split up in code. So we can reuse the same code. Why do we have to add like extra lines like a plus g and a plus e again? If the operation is just adding two variables, we can just add it by calling a function, by making it more simpler. So I will show you how that can be done. So let's create a function first. This is the return type int, the name of the function, and the arguments I will be passing. So let's say return plus b. That's it. That's our function. So we don't need to have this int addition here anymore. Let's do a system.out.println addition a e, and we just call the function from here, addition. We also have to pass the arguments, don't forget that. So the arguments are a and e. So a and e. Similarly, we can call it as a and g. But there's an error. So what's the error? It says change addition to static. That's because we cannot call a non-static method from a static method. So earlier, if you had seen the function, it was just public int addition, and we're calling it from a public static void main class, function. So we will also have to have our method with the static type. So our code recommenders are always there to save us anytime. So we can just say change addition to static. There you go, public static int addition, all errors gone. We can save it. Let's run it. Yay! So we have A, E, sum is 14, A, E, sorry, it has to be G, a typo. Yeah, so and AG sum is 12. So I hope you like this session, and methods can be used for anything and everything, and a lot of reusability. If you see that we do not have to do the addition operation twice here, and it's really good. Like we need not even have to have the system.out.println or right here to have two printlns. We can even add a println here instead of returning it. In that case, the return type would be void. So functions and methods both are the same, and they're like amazing things in any coding language. And I would recommend you all to write a lot of functions rather than writing the code all in your main class. So yeah, let's get going. Bye bye.